Hey, hello, what is up, and welcome. So thank you for clicking on the video. Today is a bit of a different video if you've ever looked at my channel before. If not, which I assume, welcome and thank you so much. So let's cut right to the chase. Igor Opeshansky, aka Vitruvian Physique, recently, or today actually, uploaded a video on his new and updated quantitative way of assessing your genetic potential, essentially, and your what you were given. I thought it'd be fun to take the test myself. So, as he's already said very eloquently, don't take this as an excuse not to work hard. You should always keep at it, and no matter how low or how high you score on the chart, don't let it change the way you go into working out, because you don't have any alternative. You cannot change your genetic makeup. It's what it is. But if you've ever, just like me, wanted to know objectively where you stand, or somewhat objectively where you stand on the spectrum of good genetics and bad genetics, take the test. I'll link it in the description as well. If you haven't, please watch Igor's videos, but let's not delay this any further and look at what I did. Alright. Alright, so here I am with the computer. I'll jump into the screen recording right now, and I will walk you through what it takes to calculate all of these different measurements. And then in the following video, I'll look at where other fitness celebrities and influencers place on this spectrum of good to bad, just like Igor has done, but I'll look at Kino Body and other natural lifters. Alright, so let's jump into it. Okay, so here we are on my desktop with Excel open, obviously. Alright, so what I did was I downloaded the Excel sheet that Igor provided, and I basically put in everything that I wanted to put in. So as you can see, height is, I am 6 feet 3 inches tall, a bit taller, I'm 191 centimeters, but 6 feet 3 is close enough. I currently weigh about 95 kilos, which as you can see converts to 209 pounds. I estimate my current body fat to be right around 13, maybe 14%. Wrist circumference I measured with your obvious tape measure, so it's pretty straightforward. I have pretty big wrists, I should say, which was something that I was aware of. But this score of 5 definitely makes it look more special than it really is. Ankle circumference is fairly large as well. These are in inches, as you can see. Shoulder width. What I did here was I actually took Adobe Illustrator, which I can show you now, and basically traced out on a picture of mine what which the shoulder to waist ratio would be. So I basically grabbed this image here with a friend of mine here, and so I took the line tool and basically traced this over the belly button, as you can see, and then right in line with the clavicle here, and basically traced that, and then calculated the numbers. So it's about 95 to 58 in this case. So that is about 1.73 as a ratio. As you can see, this can be any unit. Because it's a ratio, the unit doesn't matter. As you might have been able to tell, on this picture I have a 4-pack. It is slightly asymmetrical, so I put that in there too. My chest is, as you were able to tell, I'll put in some other images so you can get a better idea of what I look like, because you obviously do not know me. So yeah, it's pretty decent symmetrical, but it's not necessarily very like 3D or popping. If you look at the other options here, they're pretty funny. They go all the way from full symmetrical, big, overall perfect, I look like Arnold, to my chest looks like I can't do a push-up. So typical Igor humor there. Yeah, for the bicep, they're pretty good. They're kind of short, but they're not super short. So they're like right around average and relatively big. I am very arm dominant for my physique, and the deltoids aren't anything special. So they're not terrible. Somewhere in the middle. Body fat distribution is pretty much the same. If you look at the options here, it's fairly homogeneous, but I store more like in my lower body, so I really have trouble getting the legs to look lean. But on the other hand, I really can, like in summer when I just like don't track and go out with my friends, I will most of the time just lose weight and get leaner. That tends to happen. Yeah, so as you can see, that brings me to a score of 65.5. If you've watched Igor's video, you'll see that it's right around where Christian Guzman is, which I'm pretty happy about. I've always known that I was slightly above like average in terms of like muscle building genetics. I can, like at this point, you can probably like take a look at a couple of other images. I have another one of like me when I was 8, and looked pretty jacked for my age, which is pretty funny. But yeah, essentially this is it. I will do another couple of videos on other natural lifters, and maybe even look at unnatural lifters. So how like just muscle influences all of these measurements, especially the shoulder width. So we'll look at like Cali muscle and all the fun like natties, so to say, our favorite vegan natties. But yeah. Alright guys, so that was it. I hope you liked it. I'll be doing more of these videos as I was saying in the other part, like during the screen recording. Yeah, keep lifting. Don't do this test if you haven't had any experience doing that, and just lift instead. As Igor said, just shut up, sit down, lift weights, and yeah, see progress. Alright, so this is the outro. Feel free to tune out, and we'll see each other in the next video. Alright.